please welcome to the show, Janet Harris.
Hi, Portia.
Hello, future nurse Janet. How are you?
Thank you, just fine. Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, it's great to have you. Listen, I love this idea of you being a first-generation college student at the age of 60, and you're a couple of years in already, right?
Yes, I'm a couple of years in.
Let's talk about your decision to go back at 60.
Well, I had a good career, 23-year career with the American Cancer Society. During the pandemic, of course, things got slow. People were laid off. So I decided that I would retire at 59 and a half. So I was taking care of my husband at the time. So I started going back to school, just part-time. And I decided, I wanted to do something different. I've always been in the medical field, always had that passion from a little girl that I've always wanted to be a nurse. And I worked in the medical field with various jobs.
Okay. What kind of work did you do?
I worked at the Emory University with the liver transplant team.
Okay.
Yeah, and I worked there for 18 years.
Wow.
I loved it, but I could only go so far without a degree.
Understood.
I didn't have a degree at all. I had never gone to college. I had a medical assistant certification from Atlanta Area Tech. And that's how I got started.
Wow.
That was my first schooling. But then, life started lifing, girl.
Yes.
I was 18 years old. I married my husband, my first husband. Had 3 wonderful boys.
Right.
And life kept lifing.
Life keeps lifing.
Yes,
it's hard to go back to school.
It's hard to go back to school
when you've got so many other responsibilities.
And I tried several times during being a mother of small kids and a wife and working. I tried to go back. I went to technical school, Piedmont Tech. I just kept trying. I never gave up.
Right.
But after I was laid off and let go, retired, I decided this is my opportunity.
This was the time to do it. What were the biggest challenges? I have to imagine the technical component.
Oh my goodness, the way school is done now, online classes, the technical component of taking your test online with the lockdown browser. They can all eyes are on you while you're home taking your test.
Wow.
So I had to get used to all of that. Not much pencil and paper.
Right, the way we used to do it, and being in a classroom setting where you raise your hand and ask questions. If the learning is virtual, it's all very different from what we did.
And most likely, I am usually the oldest one in my class.
Of course.
I'm surrounded by young people, which is wonderful. Absolutely. They give me energy. They they give me drive. They tell me, Miss Jan, you can do this. Come on, Miss Jan.
That's good.
So I get to be on all the little study groups with the youngsters.
Nice. That youthful energy is good for you too,
yes, it
right?
Is. Yes, it is.
Now, I know one of the other challenges, and you touched on this, is that you were taking care of your husband.
Yes.
And to be clear, this was your second husband that you were taking care of, right?
Yes.
Tell me what was going on.
Yes, my husband, Alonzo. Alonzo was diagnosed with liver cancer. And he had 2 diagnoses. The first one, we got through it. We got through the treatment. And I was his primary caregiver, actually.
And this was before you went back to school, right?
This was before I went back to school. That's me and my husband, yes. Before I went back to school. But during school, while I was in school and working part-time, he had a second diagnosis. And this was the one that, he passed from. But it it really went very, very fast. He was diagnosed, I think, like in August, and he was gone by October 23rd.
Oh, my goodness.
But this was a crucial time because I was in my very last prerequisite class for my nursing, my very last prerequisite for pre-nursing. And it was 2 or 3 weeks before finals that he passed. So immediately after that, I went back to school immediately. I took a day or 2 off, had to go back to school to prepare for my finals. And that was my microbiology.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that was the hardest one.
Not that there's any easier than others, but microbiology.
Yes.
Tell me, and for our viewers so that they understand, how did you find the resolve to do this? Was this for Alonzo?
Mainly, yes. And our God is so wonderful.
Indeed.
Our God is so wonderful.
Indeed.
He's bringing my dream. It's my dream to come true. bringing my dreams to pass, I should say, excuse me. But Alonzo was my push. And me taking care of him even pushed me further and further. I learned more and more about medicine, even the hospice, you know, because I've already decided that most likely I will probably go into that field.
To hospice care. Wow.
Yes.
Because you took such good care of your own husband.
It was a pleasure to take care of him.
And I want to brag on you here. You passed your finals with soaring grades and colors. I'm so happy for you and so proud of you. How did that feel for you personally?
Personally, it was, oh my God, I was over the top. It was wonderful. You know, I felt like my husband was there pushing me, you know, saying, go for it, Jan, go for it. My teachers, my instructors, they were there holding my hand. They just knew I could do it. And praise God, I did it. And I'm done with that part of it. So I'm looking forward to now passing the TEAS exam and doing my clinicals. And I'll be a nurse.
Listen to you. This is so empowering just to hear you even describe this, your clinicals, and getting this much closer to being a nurse.
Yes.
And I have to imagine, too, this was a good way to help go into the first holiday without your beloved Alonzo.
Yeah, without my beloved Alonzo, I got through the holiday with my family. We had brunch at my son's house, and all the grandbabies were around. But Portia, this had to be one of the hardest things. You know, I get emotional, needless to say.
I understand.
And it was time to go back to school. I had to make a decision if I was going to register and go back, because also with my nursing degree, I'm also getting an associate's degree in health sciences.
So you did register, and you did go back, and you are back in this semester in 2024, and you've moved into an apartment.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
This
yes,
is
I
so
did.
many changes.
So many life changes back to back. That's how I know again that there is a God. There's no way I could have had the nerve or the, you know, just the balance of it all, trying to balance my career, my school, and now moving into a new place. It's heartbreaking, but necessary.
And what a model of resilience you are for your family, for your grandchildren, for our viewers to do this. I'm so proud and so inspired.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You've got more to tell us.
Oh, goodness.
Nurse Jen. So stay right with us. After the break, you're going to meet HR expert Robert Johnson. Life's curveballs inspired him to create a six-figure business. Now, he is actually helping others achieve their own goals. No excuses. Age, he said, cannot stop any of it. We'll get his advice and hear his story coming up.